Okay, hello, good morning, and this is Isaac. I'm from 9 Point Academy, and because of the lockdown by the coronavirus in Nigeria, I am set to go online. For those who will be seeing this short video, or those who want to join our physical online class for intensive study at this period in time, so that when life returns to normalcy, you can just go in and sit for the exam. If it's a top priority, I know there are a lot of certainties outside, yes, but this is time to just have a handle of something that you would like to really achieve in this short period of time. Okay, now this morning I've done short videos on true false not given before, but I want to do a very detailed breakdown. So this true false not given will be in two parts. Yes, this will be the first one. Okay, so now I will transit into my slide. Okay, so this is a strategy for true false not given one, just like I said. And then I want you to be patient with me because it's just going to be in two parts. This will be the first part, and I will do the follow-up video. For those who have watched my video before about this, I gave first my previous try to explain everything once, but I discovered that some people are stuck between points. I'm going to emphasize this morning. Yes, the first thing is never let IELTS, true false not given, take you to a stage where you start to decide, okay, is it true? Oh, sorry, is it false or is it not given? With that, you have 50% chance of getting and 50% chance of failing the question. The truth is that we've used this method, and those who apply it, when you start, you might be getting some wrong, but as you apply it and understand the principle, you will get everything. That's the thing. We've seen students scoring 8.59 regularly, consistently now. Majority of our students are doing that. So with this method, both those who attend online and physical class. Okay, so the first, I know that in IELTS, there's nothing like given or not given. You only have given or not given, true, false. But you need to first of all decide if something is given and if it is not given. And I will tell you, given means context of question and passage is the same. That is, what do I mean? Question and passage are evaluating, okay, the same thing. Okay, that is what it means. That this question and passage are evaluating the same thing. The issue here is that don't focus on the content, because that's a very it's very distracting. You are not focusing on the content, you are focus is on context and not content. This is where some people get it totally wrong, because when the content looks similar, let me cite an example. Are they won medal at the Olympics because of his styling qualities? Okay. Are they participated in the Olympics because of his styling qualities? The two sentences were evaluating different things. They had almost the same content. but one was evaluating how are they came to win in the Olympics. Let me just write the sentence for clarity. Let me take this part off. Let me write it. They won medals at the Olympics because of his talent qualities. Okay, or are they participated at the Olympics because of his talent qualities? Okay, the thing there is that you will possibly say this is false because it says, are they won medal at the Olympic because of the talent qualities? Are they participated? The issue is that are they trying to evaluate the same thing? This first sentence is trying to evaluate that what made are they won medals at the Olympics. This one is trying to evaluate what made are they qualified to participate at the Olympics. The two statements are not measuring or evaluating the same thing. They are not. So if this was in the passage and this was in the question, this would be an automatic not given. But it's rather confusing in IELTS because you look at the content, they look as if they contain the same thing, but maybe participated one is the only thing. But that participated and won medal are actually the key action, the context. So that is it. So let's go into an question sample now. Yes, into question sample. Look at, I will take you to this now. This is question 1. Question 1 is saying chronobiology is the study of how living things has evolved over time. Have evolved over time. What is this question trying to say? It's trying to define chronobiology. Okay, let's look where we can find it here. So this one says chronobiology, a big distraction between, might sound a little futuristic, like something study. This one say is the study of how. Are they talking the same thing? That they trying to evaluate the same thing? Look at it. A field of study that concerns one of the oldest processes of life on this planet as ever known. A short-term reading of time and their effect of fauna and flora. The issue is that are they trying to measure the same thing? A field of study that concerns is a study of how the two of them are evaluating the same thing. And what are they evaluating? They are evaluating chronobiology. So they are trying to define chronobiology now. So you need to first of all understand context, that is the side, is it given or not given? So according to the set rule now, it is given. You might say they do not contain the same information. They do not need to contain the same information. They only need to be trying to evaluate the same thing before you say it is given. The second stage is, if it is given, we will decide if it is true or false. But first, I want you to understand how you can decide between given and not given. Yes, I want you to understand that. So now, that's it. Chronobiology, a field of study that concerns one of the process of life on this planet as ever known. Then it gave the short-term reading of time and their effects on fauna and flora. It is defining chronobiology. This one says chronobiology is the study of how living things as it is defining chronobiology. So the first thing is it is given. The context of the question matches the context of the passage. We are not going into content now. Okay, the second stage true, false, not given. I will do that in the next lecture, but pay attention to this. If you can decide between given and not given, you are fantastic. Then you will go down into true or false later. Okay, this one says the rise and fall of sea levels affect how sea creatures behave. That is, sea level, it affects the behavior of sea creatures. It's trying to evaluate rise and fall of sea level and how it affects the sea creatures. Okay, this one is saying marine life, for example, is influenced by tidal patterns. Are they measuring the same thing? Marine life is influenced by tidal pattern. Rise and fall of sea level, that is tidal pattern. Does it replace it? Okay, affect, for example, is influence, affect. Are they measuring the same thing? Yes. Tidal pattern, rise of sea level, how it affects marine life, how it affects sea creature. So that is given. They are evaluating the influence of sea level, rise and fall of sea, tidal pattern, and how it affects marine life, how it affects sea creature. They are actually measuring the same thing, so it is given. Okay, so the third question now, most animals are active during the daytime. Most animals are active during the daytime. This one says animal tends to be active or inactive depending on the position of the sun. Are they measuring the same thing? Let's go. Most animals is trying to give us the quantity or degree of animals that are active during daytime. This one is saying animals are active or inactive depending on the position of the sun. Are they measuring the same thing? Quantity of animals that are active during daytime. This one is saying animals can be active or inactive depending on position of the sun. They are not measuring the same thing. This one is very, very straight to the point, saying most animals are active during the daytime. This is the time they're active. This one says animals, they can either be active or inactive. It's trying to measure the times most of the animals are active. They are not saying the same thing. This might sound a bit confusing. I will stay more a bit. Most animals are active during the daytime. This is the time that most animals are active. That's the issue that is measuring time or duration that animals are active. This one is telling you animals tend to be active. What affects whether they are active or inactive is position of the sun. Yes. So it's using cause and effect of active or inactive based on position of the sun. This one says they are active during this time. They are not measuring the same thing. So it is absolutely not given. So you would see under exam condition, it's so easy for you to just say, okay, they are measuring. No, this one is saying most animal, quantity of animal that are active, quantity and active. This one is saying active or inactive based on position of the sun. The cause and effect factor is different. So they are not measuring the same thing. When your answer is not given, you pick not given straightforward. If it is given, you have to go further to decide if it is false or true. You might be asking me, how can you do this under exam condition? The truth is that when you master the techniques, it takes you seconds to figure it out when you master it. So because I've seen students, even some of our online students, one person gave me testimonials after 2 or 3 lectures, she did 35. True/false not giving questions, she scored 31. She's not there. And one student is still scoring 8, 7.5, 8. Then after 2 weeks, she moved to 8.59. The thing there is that if you get it, you are good. Okay, this is the, let's go to the second set of the next one on different days. So what's this one trying to do? Define circadian rhythm, identify what it actually does. Okay, so look at this place. This, when it comes to human, chronobiologists are interested in what's called circadian rhythm. That's why it's mentioned. This is a complete cycles of our body. It's trying to, this circadian rhythm, what is it trying to do? It's trying to tell us what circadian rhythm does. This is the complete cycle within the passage of 24 hours. It say, this one say, identify how we do different things on different days. Okay, the two of them are trying to identify what circadian rhythm does. Yes, identifies. This is referring to circadian rhythm. Yes, so this is actually given. Okay, so that is it. Okay, so now the next question. A healthy circadian rhythm is trying to tell us that, okay, but there's a relationship between a night person and their health, having a healthy circadian rhythm. And this is where the person was mentioned. Night people, for example, often describe how they find it hard to operate during the morning, but become alert and focused during the evening. It's just their activities. I know that expressions and vocabulary can be very, very key, especially for those who are writing academic. You need to understand a variety of. This is a benign variation. This one is actually talking about whether it has health implication or not. So it is measuring the same thing. A night person can still have a healthy circadian rhythm. So in this part, it didn't talk about their health, or yes, but this part, this is a benign variation. Okay, if you look at the dictionary for benign, you would understand that it's saying healthy, okay, good, neutral, or things like that. So they are measuring the same thing. That's why it is given. Okay, so this third one now, the next one, new therapies can permanently change without is telling us is trying to form there is a relationship between new therapies, if it is done, and our circadian rhythm. It will alter it. Recent therapeutic development for women, such as artificial light, What naturally produce have more nutritional value. This is the statement. That's why plants appear no more malleable in this respect. Studies demonstrate that vegetables grown in sin. Okay, a far higher in nutrient is trying to compare their nutrient value. Yeah. And we okay. Sorry for the break in transmission. Okay, so I want you to see how you can decode context. If context of question is the same as context of passage. Okay, so coming up, explanation of true false not given. Yes, but you need to get this one right first. So please practice. So if you can decide to join our online class Tuesday and Thursday, for this lockdown period, we'll be adding more classes online to help prepare for those interested. And then you can also subscribe to the YouTube channel. Yes, so that you can get a lecture update as you get them. Or if you will be prepared to join our physical class when normal life resumes after the lockdown. So thank you so much for joining. You'll be getting my videos later about true, false, not given. Oh, sorry, true and false. We've decided giving and not giving. And in that video, we'll first of all do a practice on true, false, not on not giving and giving again to ascertain level of understanding. So bye for now.